Have you ever looked at someone and thought, how on earth did they become financially comfortable? They never brag about stocks, never talk about crypto, never flash their income. Yet somehow, they end up with a peaceful life, a solid emergency fund, a growing investment account, a diversified portfolio, and even passive income trickling in like it's nothing. Meanwhile, you're over here asking yourself real questions like, why does my money vanish every month? Why does building wealth feel complicated? Why do I feel like I'm always playing financial catch-up? In today's video, I'm breaking down 8 ways people accidentally build wealth without even realizing it, and how you can start doing the same today. No matter where you're starting from, no matter your income, and without needing any special advantage. If you believe you're built for more, subscribe now. We're here to guide you with tools, strategies, and stories that actually make a difference. Stay with me till the end, because the last point is something people almost always ignore, and it's the one habit that creates unstoppable long-term financial freedom. Let's start with the first habit that quietly changes everything. Number 1, they treat small money like big money. Here's the funny thing about wealthy people who don't even realize they're becoming wealthy. They never disrespect small amounts of money. Someone gives them $20 back. They put it aside. They save $30 on groceries. They track it. They avoid fees that most people shrug off. They don't throw away money on apps they don't use. It sounds simple, even boring, but this is one of the most powerful forms of financial discipline. Because when you respect small money, big money eventually respects you. There's a reason stock market investors, dividend stock savers, and index fund lovers keep saying that compounding is slow at first. The people who get rich accidentally, they simply keep showing up for the slow part. Respecting small amounts builds a mindset that will later help you manage larger investments, your equity growth, your passive income sources, and your retirement portfolio. Number 2, they avoid lifestyle complexity without even trying. Most people think wealth disappears because of overspending. But honestly, the bigger villain is something else. Complexity. The sneaky kind. The silent kind. The kind you don't even feel until it squeezes your bank account like a lemon in slow motion. And here's the interesting part. Many people who end up financially comfortable didn't cut expenses intentionally. They just never added unnecessary complexity in the first place. Think about it. Every decision you make adds either friction or freedom. Multiple streaming subscriptions, that's friction. 4 credit cards you don't track, friction. Constantly upgrading gadgets because the internet told you to. Major friction. A car you don't need but bought to feel successful. That's friction disguised as pride. Wealthy but not trying people keep their lives simple, and simplicity protects their capital without them even noticing. Simplicity is not minimalism, it's clarity. The fewer financial moving parts you have, the more your money compounds through index funds, ETFs, blue-chip stocks, and diversified portfolios. When your lifestyle is simple, your extra cash automatically finds room to breathe, and eventually to grow. Number 3, they stick to one reliable system instead of chasing every new trend. If you've ever felt exhausted from trying to keep up with every new financial hack, investment trend, or get rich with this new thing strategy, breathe. You're not alone. Most people are drowning in information and starving for direction. But people who accidentally build wealth, they don't chase noise. They don't switch their strategy every month. They pick one simple system and ride it consistently for years. One reliable habit, one predictable plan, one low-stress system. You've probably seen someone who invests a fixed amount into an index fund or ETF every month without ever talking about it. They don't track the market daily. They don't panic during market volatility. They don't jump ship when someone on social media screams buy or sell. They just continue. And that's the magic. Continuity beats intensity every single time. Your brain loves stability. Systems reduce emotional spending. Systems eliminate fear-based decisions. Systems give your money a routine, and routine builds wealth. Number 4, they say no, more than they say yes. How many times have you said yes knowing you didn't want to, and later regretted spending the money? People quietly building wealth understand that every no protects time, money, mental clarity, and long-term goals. It keeps their lifestyle sustainable. It avoids chaos. It reduces the pressure to impress others. And unintentionally, this discipline transforms into wealth, not through big leaps, but through tiny boundaries repeated over and over. People assume wealth builders are always doing more investing, more hustling, more earning. But in reality, many people build wealth by doing less accepting financial obligations, less joining every outing, less trying to please people, less reacting to invitations that drain time and money. In short, they have a strong no muscle. Financially peaceful people choose their yes carefully, not because they're cheap, because they're intentional. Think about how powerful this is. Every unnecessary yes you avoid becomes a resource saved, Every resource saved becomes a contribution to your emergency fund or investment account, and every contribution compounds into future financial freedom. Number 5, they build emotional distance from their money without meaning to. A guy once told me he didn't invest aggressively. He simply put a part of his income into an index fund every month. When the market crashed once, his friends panicked and sold everything. He forgot about it, literally forgot, and didn't check his account for years. When he finally did, the market had recovered and grown. He didn't stay calm intentionally. He was just not emotionally glued to the numbers, and that saved him from a disastrous mistake. He accidentally made one of the smartest long-term investing decisions. He did nothing. This emotional distance is what keeps people stable during market volatility, helps them quietly grow equity, and protects them from reacting impulsively to every piece of financial news. There's a strange irony in the world of financial freedom. The people who end up with the strongest net worth aren't the ones who obsess over every dollar. They're the ones who create a healthy emotional distance from their money, sometimes without even knowing they're doing it. They don't panic when the market dips. They don't rejoice wildly when the market pumps. They are steady, calm, almost boringly consistent. Number 6, they make their life routines efficient, and efficiency turns into wealth. Imagine someone who preps meals, avoids daily takeout and runs errands in batches. That's not a financial strategy, but it saves hundreds of dollars yearly. Or someone who keeps their workspace clean, so they avoid buying duplicates of things they think they lost. Or someone whose morning routine never involves rushing, so they don't burn money on convenience purchases. Efficiency leads to fewer surprises. Fewer surprises lead to fewer emergency expenses. Fewer emergency expenses lead to more leftover money. More leftover money leads to unintentional wealth growth. This is how the chain reaction works. Routine builds discipline without forcing discipline. It makes investing easier. It makes budgeting easier. It makes decision-making easier. Because when your routine is stable, your mind is stable. And a stable mind makes better long-term financial choices like consistent contributions to index funds, monthly purchases of dividend stocks, or slow and steady portfolio diversification. Number 7, they know when to choose good enough instead of chasing perfection. One of the biggest money leaks in life doesn't come from the wrong decisions, it comes from indecision. The endless pursuit of perfection. The constant fear of, what if this isn't the best option? People spend months researching the perfect savings account, the perfect stock, the perfect laptop, the perfect insurance plan, the perfect side hustle. And ironically, this perfection paralysis costs them more than bad decisions ever could. But people who accidentally build wealth, they love the magic phrase, good enough. They don't agonize over every financial choice. They don't waste time comparing 50 investment platforms. They don't try to optimize every dollar. They don't wait for the perfect moment to start investing. They understand something most people don't. Imperfect action beats perfect delay, always. Number 8, they build quiet confidence by solving small problems early. Most people assume wealth requires major breakthroughs, a sudden jump in income, a huge investment win, a perfect business idea. But people who accidentally build wealth do something far simpler. They solve small problems early. They deal with things before they explode. They fix issues while they're manageable. And this habit creates a compound effect that protects them financially for life. When you solve small problems early, you prevent expensive problems later. Here's the pattern these people follow, often without realizing it. They repair things before they break completely. They address budgeting mistakes before they become debt. They update paperwork before fines arrive. They service their car before it becomes a $2,000 repair. They handle small stress before it becomes burnout. This habit is deeply underrated in the world of wealth building. You don't need perfect knowledge. You don't need a rich background. You don't need the perfect timing, perfect strategy, or perfect income. You just need small habits that quietly compound. If you're curious about the stealth wealth rules of the top 1%, that's exactly what I cover in the next video. See you there.